Normally try to avoid torturing you with having to look at me, but I wanted to talk to you about Margaret Islander and Islander industrial sewing systems, or Islander sewing systems. So Christopher Neyman had recommended trying some of these videos out that Margaret Islander produced quite a long time ago now. Now, the neat thing is her niece, Janet Prey, runs the company now and continues to produce additional videos and patterns and everything else. So I wanted to discuss my thoughts about it. The first thing I can say is get yourself these videos. They are great. Margaret Islander is a hoot, and she's a person, kindred spirit in many ways, or was a kindred spirit, in that on her videos she talks about how to do things right, but also the fact that sometimes no matter what you do, things can go slightly wrong. And she even admits that she has made mistakes from time to time, so just get out your stitch ripper and go. So I like the fact that she's honest, because there's nothing more exciting than say, this is the way we'll always go, it'll be perfect. But the reality is, when you try it and you're learning, or even if you're not learning, or even if you're super experienced, sometimes things go wrong. So the two videos that I use a lot, and have watched quite a bit, are these Industrial Shortcuts 1 and 2. And particularly because this one's got shirts on it. This one's got darts and cutting tricks and mitering corners and all sorts of other things that there's some great tips in there. But what's even nicer about these, so this one, it says 1987 and this one says 1988, so it's a while ago. But what's even nicer about them is they go hand in hand with the patterns that Janet Prey is also releasing. So I recently bought a shirt pattern, number 228, Men's Shirt Maker Express, and decided to try it out. One of my biggest grumbles about patterns in the past has been that the instructions and the photographs made no sense whatsoever. So I realized later with increasing experience that one of the reasons is because there was always an assumption you'd been to the Singer, the Vogue, or the McCall's sewing studios. You had all their books which told you their techniques. And even though it didn't refer to them in the patterns, that's what they were actually expecting you to do. So the fact that the diagrams and instructions often made no sense whatsoever, or didn't seem to have any bearing whatsoever on what they were telling you to do, sort of assumed this underlying experience or knowledge or understanding of what on earth they were talking about. Which, of course, you know, there's value in that, but it doesn't help people to learn. So the nice thing about these is these instructions. So these are the instructions I got for my shirt maker. There's a lot in here with really good diagrams, and they go hand in hand with the videos. Not to say that you have to have the videos, but it's a lot better when they're referring to the technique and they have some diagrams if you can just pull up your video and watch it at the same time. Now, this particular pattern is the one that you download as a PDF and print off. So I wanted to try it out, and what you can see here is a piece that I have used already. You just print it off on your printer, stick it together, and these little dart marks help you line it up perfectly. I had no problems in actually assembling the pattern. What surprised me was how many pieces of paper I had to stick together for it. So if you're not a patient person, this may not be for you. However, 80 pieces later, I stuck them all together, it worked perfectly, and I produced an excellent result. So I'll show you that shirt in a second. But the neat thing is good instructions. Absolutely lovely. Really nice to work with. And it's nice to support someone who wants, so you can see Janet Prey's name there on the bottom, But what's nice is to sew someone who wants to keep the world sewing, which of course I happen to love sewing. I originally started enjoying it because I like the machinery, these vintage machines and the toys and the buttons and the bells and the whistle. It's kind of really fun. It's like toys. But also, of course, I love to sew. It's very therapeutic, it's really enjoyable, and it means I can customize my world. Walking into the local shopping centre and then walking down the street and finding someone in the same shirt. Yes, we can all survive it. It's just going to school and stuff, I always found it rather embarrassing because most of us shopped at the same place. So as I got older, I wanted something a little more interesting in my life, so I've tried to add that to that and get more experienced, with the result that most of my shirts now, quite a few of my trousers, and even my undershirts and underwear I make myself. And of course I repair everything. I do lots of home decks, all my curtains, everything's made. As Islander produces more patterns, I shall be happy to buy them and use them. So it's great. There are a few different types of shirt patterns there now. I hope one day to meet Janet Prey. I have not yet met her. I have seen a few videos of hers. I look forward to it at some point. But aside from that, I just wanted to pass on a delightful experience and hope that you will support other sewers and learn using these wonderful videos, which are good fun. In case you're wondering, no, I receive nothing from them for this. This is just my honest opinion, and I like to share these sort of things with you. So 1 second and I'll show you my most recent shirt. So I hope there aren't too many of you who are arachnophobes. I am, but I thought I would have a bit of fun with this shirt and do a fair bit of embroidery on it, but in this case it was a spider theme. So I put a bit of embroidery. I designed the stitches on my faff for those spiders there that crawl up it, and then on the back for fun I put this Itsy Bitsy spider thing, which is quite fun. This I took a drawing of a tarantula and I converted it into embroidery so I could do that, and the rest, most of these other ones I just bought except for the stitches, the yellow here of the spider. But this worked out really well. It was rather pleasant and easy to do. Cotton's a bit wrinkly, but that's just the fabric, not anything else. And it was, on the whole, you know, a really, really good result. Two things I don't like about it, but that's me not being perfect in this case. This edge of the collar is not quite as good as I would have liked, and there's a slight bend here on the cuff where it wasn't exactly perfect. My next one, which I'm going to start on soon, will of course be perfect because I will have learned from that mistake of not checking my cuffs when I sealed them around. But, you know, beautiful results, easily done, and a lot of fun. So I hope happy sewing to you all, and I hope you enjoy making your shirts and stuff. Bye for now.